Yes, that why is her face blurry?
That's the woman. I know. That's her
That,
house.
yeah.
That's even her
Uh,
house. I was at
so
I was at her house in December.
people thought it's fake. That I just look at it, but it's crazy. The problem is this. Remember the last conversation we had last year?
Yes.
I told you that look, there's going to be more violence. Violence is going to happen against this politician. Why? Because it's everything was predictable. Why? Because once the people are hungry, they are going to start looking for way. Of course, I'm a father. If I have kids and I see that my kids are hungry, there's no way I can fold my hands. Either I go steal to feed them or find a solution to feed them because I'm a responsible father. And that's what any responsible father would do. Now, I see a lot of people calling them hoodlums and this and that, giving them names and calling them thugs because they're going to loot food that was supposed for them and then attacking all those politicians. And I laugh. I say, look, the problem with us is that we are not asking, we are worried about what was looted, but we're not worried about why the looting was going on. I'm living in France now. The people in France don't go out looting for food. They will protest. There was a protest they did the last time. It took them months. They were protesting outside on the streets. But they weren't stealing any food because nobody was hungry. Nobody had any need for any food. They went in, they waited. So this is the problem with our society. People need to understand why these people are going out to loot in the first place. And then what to do, how to fix the system. Don't go and say, oh, because they came out and loot. And more so that I discovered that in the north, they were most of the governors, Governor Zulum, for example, in Borno State, he shared all the food that he had with the public. So I'm really embarrassed with the leaders of the South, Southeast, Southwest. You have the life of the people in your hand. That you see that cruelty. So also, this is why I want to say to people that in the South that look, blame your local leaders, blame your councillor, your chairman, blame your state governor. But of course, the bigger picture is the president. It's very easy to blame him. Oh, the president is wicked, the president doesn't like us, the president is this. But what are your governors doing with the public fund that is being trusted into their hands? This is the problem we're facing. What do you think is the future? Right now that all the struggle, the movement we have seen, how it all started peacefully, now it's been hijacked. The chaos everywhere now. What do you think will happen next?
Well, they they have been so much uh, crisis over the last couple of days, and everything happened at the same time. It seems like the world was against Nigeria and Africa, sub-Saharan Africa in general. It seems like nature and all the elements, everything is warring against us, and we let it come here. We let it get to this place that we are in now. As you've said in our previous conversations, how we talk about these things. I mean, you don't need prophets or preachers to tell you that this was bound to happen and this was inevitable. This is only a reflection of the brokenness in the system, the corruption, the greed, avarice of the political class. Anybody knows that there's only so much the people can take. So it appeared, as we have seen, that the masses were looking for an opportunity to send a strong message to the political class to say, hey, look, it's not going to be business as usual. We have not been happy with you for a long time, and we must get a seat at the table. And if you ask me, I personally, I have no problems with people who broke into the warehouses and took the palliatives. And that's pretty much the mood for every Nigerian. I don't know about the politicians, but for
Yeah.
the average Nigerian nationwide, nobody has issues with the warehouses which were, I mean, brought down and looted, vandalized and looted. Was this good? No. Was this supposed to have happened? No. Should our people be looting for relief materials? No. This, like I said, goes to show you the corruption, the poverty, the widening of the uh, wealth gap between the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
So this had to happen to wake us up. This this was um, this was a wake up call. Now, on the other hand, what we also saw was criminal elements, people who have been, people who would steal on a normal day, whether there was law and order or not. Those people took it as as an opportunity, a great opportunity to go in there, and they also, in doing this, motivated other people who are distressed, poor, and downtrodden to just move into people's houses, private properties, public private properties, banks, hospitals, especially in Calabar where I come from, and looted the whole place down. Some people's houses were burned, like the senator, uh, former senator from my state,
Yeah.
representing the Central Senatorial District. We happened to be neighbors, and his house was burned. Senator Geshem Bassi, who is a serving senator, his house also was burned,
Mm.
and we're all neighbors. And these people actually came to my house. So the question is, who? It's not about who should be blamed for this. It's not the question of whether this was good or bad, or should 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 this be allowed to go on? Are we, airing our emotions and all that? That would be like treating the branch and not the root of the problem.
Yeah.
So this problem would allow us go back to the drawing board and discuss with mutual respect and understanding for ourselves, and say, hey, where are we going wrong? And then bring the downtrodden, the poor people to the table, and see how we can, forge and forge modalities that would allow for a fairer society. So this didn't just happen in one city or one state.
Mm.
It it went on across the nation. So it goes a long way to tell you the frustrations of the poor Nigerians, owing to the greed, avarice, aloofness, and insensitivity of those at the helm of affairs.
It's really sad though, because normally this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. And one element I saw is the people who are trying to take advantage of the moment, to set ethnic tension and religious tension. They are talking about what Nnamdi Kanu said. He said something like, I don't know whether he was misquoted, but I listened to what he said. And it was very dangerous. It could be misinterpreted what he said. He said that businesses should be attacked. That Hausa people, he told his people that get ready, the army or the military are coming to protect your properties. If any Hausa person attack you, attack them. So we started seeing certain tension that was going on. And then again, there is this other one, Adeyinka grandson, who lives in the UK, hiding and sending, inciting, religious tension, even from the Arewa side. We saw some people leaving comment and saying, now they have turned it into a religious problem. Some say it's ethnic stuff. Others say, oh, the Southwest and the Southeast are conniving, conspiring to dethrone Buhari. So what I said to them is, I said, look, what is important right now is not about who is Muslim, who is Christian, but that's how it has been interpreted. What we want is the unity in this country, the unity, good governance in the country. So the good government, you hold your government accountable.
You are not wrong to, look at it from that angle. The thing is, we have to look at the issue in depthly, look at the sentiments in Nigeria among the tribes, the ethnic groups that make up Nigeria, the religious divide and all that. We're not saying, you and I, we have been pro-Nigeria from day one. I'm pro-Nigerian any day, anytime. I've criticized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the approach. Initially, some years ago, last year, 2 years ago, I've criticized the approach of the movement, though I know that it is a fundamental human right to want to self-actualize, to want to secede. I mean, it is not this is not a jail. Nigeria is not a jail.
Mm-hmm.
Even marriages, even marriages,
Yeah.
people who are married are allowed to go their separate ways. You understand where this is going? So
Yes.
in an arrangement that's like Nigeria, that was given to us by the colonizing power,
Mm-hmm.
colonial power, Great Britain, who put us all together in spite of the differences, misunderstanding, and they did not do a lot to ensure trust between these two people. So we just got independent prematurely, not knowing and anything about uh, how to run a nation, not really understanding the intricacies, dealing with different people with different ideologies, different ethnic backgrounds, different cultural practices, their sentiments, their, what have you. We didn't have all that. So the South and the North, two different peoples. This is not to say that we cannot cohabit or live together as a nation. This is what I want. But the stirring of the pot in order to gain by those who benefit from Nigeria's and Africa's problems in general is where I have an issue with. And I would think that Mr. Nnamdi Kanu would not really push for a war, a violent secession. So, in my judgment,
Yeah.
because I've seen the legacy of the Civil War, the Nigerian Biafra War, and people from my area, I mean, we got hit the most. The war was fought in our own land, not in Kaduna, not in Kano. It was fought in our doorsteps. My
Yeah.
paternal grandfather was in the fought in that war. My grandmother, my paternal grandmother, told me how they ate raw cassava leaves in the forest without salt and became sick for this. If you read Chimamanda's book about the yellow half of the yellow sun, all these stories are there. My maternal grandfather also fought in the war. I'm so angry about this police brutality, even more than some people would be, because my grandfather wore that uniform with distinction
Hmm.
as an ACP. When police, the Nigerian police were police, when men were respected, when you had to merit everything that you have. And this man fought uh, the civil war on the Nigerian side. So we cannot allow all these sacrifices to,
Going.
I mean, to go in vain. We
Yeah.
have to look for a way to make peace and find a way to live together as one people.
Yeah.
So when
I want
this
to
whole
make
thing
this.
began,
Yeah.
so what did you say?
No, I said I want to make this clear that we spoke about this, me and you, in the past.
Yeah,
I'm not against Biafra or Dudua Republic. Everyone has a democratic right to seek for independence, for their land, for their freedom, for whatsoever reason you have. The only time I'm against is the manner, the approach. You have to put other people down. You have to insult other
say
people. You have to
no,
you
no,
say
no.
bad things against.
Let's. I'm coming to that yet. Okay, as we know, if you knew Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, his anger, if you know
Yeah,
him well and have been following him, his anger is legitimate.
that is true. And also misplaced, I think.
It's not misplaced. Okay,
I will tell you why
it's
it's
the
misplaced.
anger. One second, Baba. The anger of the southeastern people of Nigeria,
Yeah,
telling you as somebody whose grandparents fought in the war and had first-hand experience. The anger from that place is legitimate. And when you look at the injustices that are going on and being carried out by the Nigerian state, you can get like that. That's the same way. That's what's leading to the Niger Delta Avengers,
yes,
those kinds of groups springing up because of injustices in the land. But it is not to say that the whole problem is, the people from that end, their leaders are all saints. They
yeah,
also have a finger in that problem. So it's not just the people from the north or the Yoruba people. The ruling class the political class of Nigeria in all states have failed
Yes.
the people. So it would not have been so bad, even if there is inequality from the very top, at the very top, if the people down here were delivering on their promises to the people. Now, I brought about this struggle to talk about the last speech from MNK, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I didn't listen to the full thing, but you know, when you're seeing a lot of videos and the video, his broadcast came up, I just listened for a few minutes, and he talked about. I heard him say to burn public buildings, to touch them. I never heard him. I didn't hear him say to attack people from other ethnic groups or burn their businesses, but specifically buildings owned by the Nigerian state. That's what I heard. But that's why I stopped watching. But I also heard him saying that for the first time, and he was proud of the Nigerian people. For the first time, Nnamdi Kanu was, if I should say, I think I have the right to say, a bit more Nigerian.
He wasn't
Yes,
ethnocentric.
he wasn't Biafran. Look, he wasn't even Biafran, as
Yes.
you would think, like the Biafran giant. He became like Ojukwu after Nigeria came together. Okay, he said for the first time, the Nigerian youth impressed me. Okay, he said the Nigerian youth impressed him, not the Igbo youth, not the Yoruba youth, or the Hausa Fulani youth. The whole of the Nigerian youth impressed him because, I mean, he felt like at this point, I think I can calm down. You know, with this my fire. A woman actually called and said he was too rash. Okay, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was too rash and insultive. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, "Look, if you knew me before now, I am actually polite now." He said, "I'm polite now." And you would, yes, I thought he was polite that day.
Yeah.
In spite of what happened, I thought he was polite because his joy was that this generation had woken up.
Yes.
Because for him, the country was hopeless. If the average Nigerian couldn't see that there is a problem, and you and I, this generation, waking up to address it, you know, taking the bull by the horn and saying, "Hey, government, this must stop. Enough is enough. This corruption, and this is what we want, and this is what we must see." So he was suitably impressed by the zeal and courage of these young people. And for the first time, I heard him address the young people of Nigeria he addressed the people as a national leader, not as a Biafran leader. And then a few days later, I would see a video of him in an interview with Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode. Okay, where this issue came up, the issue of he's making fiery statements. Okay, that has led to maybe ethnic tensions and stuff. You know, I was humbled to see Mr. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu apologize. He actually did apologize. The video is on Femi Fani-Kayode's page. You can go there and watch it now. So what else do we want from this guy? I mean, I've criticized him like I criticized him when he first came up. Okay?
Yeah.
When he was agitating, I criticized him bitterly. But I'm asking now, what else do we want from this guy? I mean, he said, "Look, if I made utterances," which I don't remember saying, he doesn't think he made the utterances, which which are instigating young people to, get into an ethnic clash. He says, "But if I did, or if my word has been mistaken, then I apologize and I withdraw it." That's a lot of humility. And that's also saying that we're willing to come to the table to discuss. We're willing, if the government will give the young people a chance and make Nigeria good. He says, the way I look at him, and the body language he showed, he's frustrated with the ruling class, the people of his generation, the people of President Buhari's generation, who has kept us this way. He'll be happy to just chill if they would allow the young people, who are qualified to get into government and begin to move this country forward. So I tagged my friend who's pro-Biafran, my friend he's now in Turkey with me. We were together in Cyprus, the novelist, Ikenna Oke. I tagged him and said, "Have you seen from this post?" I commented on that Femi Fani-Kayode's Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode's post.
Yeah.
My friend hasn't replied yet. This my friend replies. I am not dissing you now. I'm not trying to start a debate, but in case he watches this, he has not replied. This is like 4 days now. This is 4 days. He hasn't replied. IK will always reply, but I said, can you see that even Mr. Mazi Nabikano, it's not actually so much about a secession, but he wants a society that works for everybody, that's just, where everybody is recognized for who they are as an individual and enjoy the rights of a citizen and have a country that we all can be proud of. I think that Nnamdi Kanu will be happy to join Nigeria and forget about the whole secession thing.
Exactly.
If the country works.
That is what I say. I told a friend, I said, look, if the country works, good road, water, good school, in security, everything, Nnamdi Kanu will not even have. Why? Because I've been following this guy. Ever when he became an activist, since 2011, 11, 12, 13, 14, there was a time he was organizing protests in the UK against bad governance of good luck and all those things. I was following him. He was a frustrated youth who was tired of the country. Then all of a sudden, I woke up one day and saw that he changed his agenda. He's now talking about Biafra. So what he said yesterday was different. And today again, I watched his live streaming. He said something very important. He said that God had given me a new assignment. That's what he said. He said God gave him a new assignment. That this year God gave him a new assignment. And I was waiting to hear what he had to say. And he said that God has now told him that God is now directing him to the Nigerian youth. That he's seen that the people are waking, and now he has to exploit that opportunity.
Exactly. I haven't watched that speech. I didn't watch it. Sorry to cut you. I didn't watch that speech. But what I'm saying now is in line with what you just said now, right?
Exactly. Just this evening. And you know, that's what I tell people. I say, look, this guy is only frustrated because the country is not working. If the country is working, if the system of indigenship and citizen is out of place, if the constitution is there for everybody, no one will be clamoring for independence. Everyone wants the country to work. Why? Because our strength is in our unity. As large as Nigeria is, do you know that the conglomeration of different nations, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas, is what is the liveliness of Nigeria today, the energy that we feed on each other and thrive. So when I heard him say that, I was like, wow, this is change. And this is the point. Something strange is happening. He's changing his tone. He's changing his message. And I asked 2 or 3 people who are die-hard Biafrans. I asked them, what do you think about what he said? Guess what they said? They were disappointed. They said, no. Nnamdi Kanu should focus only on Biafra. That he shouldn't join the EndSARS movement. In short, he has reduced his tone now. He's not calling it Zugeria anymore. He's calling it Nigeria now. When he speaks, he's talking about Nigeria.
Listen, bro. Of course, he made it clear he does not hate the Fulanese, the Hausas, or the Yorubas. Yeah. Okay, he's even getting close to the Yorubas, especially with his association with Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode. His problem is the corrupt oligarchy, the corrupt ruling class, okay? And that's what he wants to change. And in line with this, with that conversation, that point, is what is stirring up people to do the things they're doing now. You know, poor people cannot understand why some people live like gods in Nigeria and the others live like slaves. The gap is too much. The income gap is too much. Some people are earning $100. People who are working very hard, who have university degrees, they're earning $100 a month, even less. And some people earn so much more than people in very advanced economies. That doesn't look nice. And a bag of rice is 50,000 naira today. And somebody's earning less than 50,000 naira a month. I mean, how do you season this rice? How do you prepare it? How do you buy the kerosene, the gas? How do you pay your bills? So these frustrations, this frustration is what has led people to take to the street and loot people's businesses, and I pity those whose hard work. I mean, private businesses who are not even politicians, even the politicians
Yes.
who have never stole a dime from the government, who have been good. I pity those people who have lost. I mean, their businesses or gotten injured or lost a loved one in this struggle. So my battery is going out now, and
Yeah.
I need to find a way to charge it. So I
Okay.
think that this also, as bad as it is, it has opened the eyes. I'm sorry, guys. I have to do this.
Yeah, please fix it before it's over. And yeah, you're actually right. You're absolutely right. And I think the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is just about the system that is not functioning well. The government system, the country is not in good position. That's what I told somebody. I said,
Yeah,
look, this guy, while the country is fine, nobody will be
yeah,
clamoring for secession. Nobody
yeah.
will be clamoring for, because why will you leave a
But
system that is working for you?
yeah, you're
So,
right.
and I
You're
told him,
absolutely
I think you have to be careful also with what you're asking for.
right. First of all, you see, I haven't been uh, so pro Biafran. I mean, I
Yeah,
respect the struggle. I do not think
of
that
course,
people should
absolutely.
be kept together against their will. If people want to
Yes.
leave, we should come together and do that amicably.
Mm.
But I don't think that Biafra is going to be any better than Nigeria as it is today.
The sound is changed. I don't know why.
Why? Because the same set of human beings who have
Can you hear me?
impoverished. Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know. The sound just changed.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear this.
Okay. So I was saying that the same set of human beings who have impoverished um, Nigeria will still be in the helm of affairs in that part of the country or in that new country that's going to be created. It's not going to be El Dorado. So let's face it. Let's start building trust amongst our young people. The
Mm.
struggle that led to the killing of young people at Lekki Toll Gate was not. We never even knew where the people came from. They all came out as Nigerians. We had houses
Yes.
there. Excuse me. We had Orobo. We had ethics. We had people, celebrities from all around. We had Yorubas, Igbos. We had everybody there who were fighting for a just cause, who have been seen. I mean, who have been put under. You know, they were not. It wasn't fraudulent until we started seeing armed talks sending to the protests to make cause mayhem and disperse the people. And when that didn't work, the military was set into to kill people. So I think that Nigeria can work, but there have to be a reawakening, a renaissance of some sort, and we have started seeing that now. Can you see me
Yes.
clearly?
I agree with you because I was surprised myself. This is the first time I'm seeing Nigerian youth coming out fearlessly, talking
Yeah,
about that they're not happy. And guess what? The SARS that we were clamoring for the end ended. It was
yes,
scrapped by the government. It was completely scrapped. So to show you that the government actually listened, and there were five demands. That means the salary is going to increase. That means we're going to see improvement, maybe reform in the security system. So to me, this is an awakening in Nigeria. Now they know that they are powerful. They know that they have rights to protest. In fact, I'm even seeing people now they're saying, hey, get ready for 2023. Take your PVC and get prepared. So I'm seeing new breed. In fact, I was really impressed because this is the. Do you know how organized? Even in an advanced country, no protest has ever been organized like this.
no,
I don't know.
I liked the human part of it, where
Yes,
the
exactly.
Protestants raised money to feed people, to buy crutches for people with who were amputated, had one leg off or had lost a leg or an arm. Raising money for people who are doing small businesses. They just use the opportunity to rally around and support one another, and also the celebrities coming in for the first time. I had always known the power of celebrities, but
Yes.
these protests, these EndSARS protests, once again allowed us to see how influential the Nigerian celebrities are. I mean, you have Timi Dakolo there singing his amazing song. What's the name of the song again? Uh, One Nation, something like that. That song, the melody of the song, the words of the
Yeah.
song is so amazing. It's so amazing, and we had Fowles the bad guy showing us that he's really a bad guy, you know. And the whole thing has not been a bluff. It's not just an act. So Fowles really, put himself out there. It was fantastic. This is just for the celebrities. Wizkid, Burna Boy, you name them,
All of them,
and
yeah. All of them.
Nigerians in diaspora. Nigerians, we are some of the most amazing set of young people anywhere on the planet, and the world knows it. We are creative, we are dynamic, we are focused, we are organized, we are innovative, we are ambitious, we like to shine, we like to be,
That is true.
the
I totally agree with
at
you.
the top of everything we're doing. And the green bandana is like, this green flag everywhere. It's like a brand, okay? Nigeria has so much soft power, okay? And that it can influence the world.
Yeah.
All eyes to be on the world. And we're selling so much. There's so much soft power that Nigeria is, in is using. And this is amazing. So what, for me, if you ask, some people are angry. They're not so not angry per se, but they're disappointed at how the EndSARS protests ended. They feel like if there was a structure, a leader, a face, or some set of people, delegated to speak with the government, it would have ended more peacefully, and we would have had, let's say, would have had a more fruitful engagement with the government. But I do not agree with them. I think that the whole idea for the EndSARS protest to not have a leader in the beginning, at least, was genius.
Yes.
Was genius. It was genius. So that was what allowed for it to spread all over the country and
Yeah.
diaspora. And there could have been no better way to have organized a protest that would, uh, have of that magnitude and be that would have cut across everywhere. And it was good for what it was. Now, why did the protesters refuse to leave the street? As the critics would say, they would have left the streets when the government, scrapped SARS and brought in SWAT and then took the 5-point demands which the protesters were asking for. They should understand that the Nigerian people for 60 years have known their government, especially this young generation. For years, we've been having promises and fails, okay? And people know now
Why is the
that
government
you don't
again
take.
ignoring?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I
Yes,
think
thank you so
maybe
much.
it's,
I'm seeing
yeah.
comments from the I am Africa Afro team. Thank you so much. Yeah, say good. Yeah, thank you. He's saying this is a great
Okay.
convo.
Thank you very
Just
much,
leave your
guys.
opinion,
So,
join us, leave your opinion, let us know what you think about this, and we'll be glad to engage you.
so, uh, well, I lost my train of thought.
No, you were talking
However, I
about
was.
how the movement started without a leader and
Mhm.
no structure.
Yes, I said it made sense that way, and it was good for what it was.
Yes.
And because our young people, not just our young people, my father and your father's generation, know the promise and fail attitude of the Nigerian government, the leaders anywhere in within the Nigerian geographical space.
Yes.
They say one thing and do the other, the direct opposite, then give you excuses why they have done so much. They have done a lot for you. And this millennials and Generation Z, they know these things. And so they decided you will speak to us by your action, not by your
Yes.
words.
Yeah.
And then it was also like a slap in the face of Nigerians when the president overnight said, SARS is scrapped and you have SWAT. Come on.
Come on.
Are the SWAT Are the SWAT, come on, are the SWAT officers angels from heaven? You know, like a troop from heaven, a host of angels, they just came and became these SWAT guys. We know for a fact that you are gonna, you know, deploy this, redeploy these SAS officers into the SWAT. And we're asking for new training for them, psychological evaluation. They must be educationally qualified. The standards for joining the police has to be raised. Okay, and then also it's a shame and a disaster. There are some pictures I don't share on social media. If you walk through a Nigerian police barracks and took a photo and see how our people live, these are the people who put their lives in line for us. See the way they live and how much they are paid. Tell me, how is it possible for there not to be corruption in the system? So it's an incentive for them to be corrupt because they are not treated well. I mean, why should politicians' children school in the choicest schools and the policeman's children can't go to those kinds of schools? It is not nice. I think that the public schools should be so well funded that people will not have any reasons to go to private schools. It should become a thing of pride to say, I went to Nigerian University, so, I went to University of Calabar, I went to the public school. We should see the president's child in the university. We should see the governor's child and the senator's children in these universities. We should also see our leaders using the same hospitals as ourselves, as the people. In that way, it will be more better managed. But they have no incentive to work on those things and fix those institutions because they don't use them. They don't use our roads. They don't use the power system, the power generating system. They don't use our electricity.
So
they have constant power supply generated to them from a generator, standby lister. They fly to where they are going, and they tar the road from their village to their house, from their street to their office, something like that. And the vast majority of us are suffering. So this is enough to incite the people against any government.
The question now is the fact demand obviously has been made. The government accepted the fact demand.
No, sir. I that's where we were again. They have not met the plans. They have accepted. They have shown that they accept our demands. But we need to see actions. Why? Because 4 years ago you talked about banning SARS. 3 years ago you said the same. 2 years ago and last year it was EndSARS. You remember EndSARS?
Yes.
And this year you say to us.
Why do I say this? Why do I say this? Because the number one demand was justice for the victim. Okay, the number one demand was EndSARS completely. Was it ended or not?
We didn't say, okay, now we know that you have to end SARS, okay? But we know that you have ended SARS, but we also know that you must put modalities in place to keep the people secure. And this is how you must go with this new security apparatus that we are, asking for. They have the demands all laid down. Let police salary be increased, but you haven't started that, and it will take months to do that. But let's begin to see concrete steps first. Okay, you don't just come and say, okay, I have ended SARS, and now it's SWAT. All right, so leave the streets. And you know one thing, the Nigerian Constitution, they will tell you, oh, you have the right to protest. You have a right to fair hearing. Okay, they tell you this. And so the Nigerian people being democratic, okay, especially people who were born in 1998 or 99, who were born into a democracy. And once they were born, social media became a thing. And so, and those of us who did not see the Civil War, and we were shielded from maybe some of the atrocities that happened to our parents and their mates. So the millennials. So we also we like the bridge between the old generation and the new one. So we know some things and we're pushing. And so we want better. But this government, the people in place now, the people in power, these people are antediluvian, ancestral, as Nigerians would call them. So It's the same system, okay? It's the same system with a different name, okay? Dictatorship or authoritarian government in the name of democracy. So they haven't really changed. And so, sorry to cut you. So they have to meet the demands. They had to meet the demand. They know they had to meet the demands, but they didn't want to do it. So how do you delegitimize a protest? Because in the Nigerian constitution, like I was saying, if you riot and you're killed in the act, the government cannot be held accountable for your death. The Nigerian constitution says that if you die in the course of a riot, because we don't want riots in our country. So the constitution says if you die on account of a riot, then your blood is on your hands. So how do you delegitimize the protest? By dropping hoodlums all over the place to cause mayhem, and then you say, oh, this thing has become out of hand. The peaceful protest has been hijacked by whoever, so we need a curfew. And then you say the curfew begins by 4 p.m. Okay, it begins by 9 p.m. People are not leaving yet, and then you send the military there to shoot them.
I think Sherwood, what is his name? He made a mistake when it comes to that. I think he regretted a lot.
When I don't trust them, I don't have the facts.
Where do we go from here? Obviously, they claim that they have accepted the 5 demand. We're not seeing any concrete evidence yet, but the protest has ended. People are no longer motivated to go out on the street anymore. The artists are silent and they're quiet. Now everybody's rethinking what happened the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. We're thinking, cogitating what happened, what is the next demand. I wonder there is a 6th demand. The people are saying that the House of Assembly, the National Senate, that the slab will be reduced. Some of them are fighting. Furiously, they are fighting. They say out of 13 trillion, the budgeted Nigerian money, that 100-something billion money is what is allocated to them, and they think it's even small for that. That is even a fraction of the Nigerian budget. That's what one of the senators was saying. He's vehemently against the reduction. I just look at the man, I just laugh. I said, look, very soon, that he's even exposing his face on the television. The people are looking at him. They might just go and burn his house down. These people, they don't know what they are doing with us. They don't know how they are provoking.
If you ask me,
if the salary is reduced, the money can be allocated to do something. Maybe increase the police salary.
If you ask me,
so what do you think? What do we go from here? What is like in conclusion?
60%, the same 60% of the salary should be reduced. It should be brought down to 40%. Salary of the National Assembly members. It's too much.
It's too much.
And the entitlements of ex-governors and current governors. The cost of running a government in Nigeria is so much for a country that borrows to carry out projects and pay salaries. And your lawmakers are the highest in the world. How is that? How does that make sense? It's not. It's not. It will not. The way we're doing it, the way we are running the country, it won't. It's not going to lead us anywhere. So that has to be looked at. But most important thing is that the Nigerian youths have shown that they have the power, the will, and drive to seek for change. And they made a strong statement at the Lekki toll gate and across the country that it's not going to be business as usual. That young people must be brought to the table, and some things will have to be ironed out. And we have to all mobilize, come together behind the agenda for change, and move Nigeria forward, so that we can also begin to compete with foreign countries. We cannot be an underdeveloping country. We're not even a developing country. And just because you and I can use iPhones and Samsungs in Nigeria doesn't mean that we are developed. We're just at the receiving end of globalization. We're just at the receiving end of globalization. So they just dump these things there and we use them. Can Nigerians making chips for themselves with all the minerals in Congo and they're scattered all over Africa? Are we making the chips by ourselves? Can we make those chips by ourselves? Can we make the chips, all the components by ourselves and build our own devices? until we are able to contribute like that. Not just wake up and say, hey, we have natural resources, we're endowed, and blah, blah, blah. The world can survive with Africa. And begin to list out some funny statistics. It doesn't take you anywhere. The reality on ground is, what are you doing with what you have?
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Mr. Abang, for your contribution greatly. Hopefully, we'll come back again live. Join us, leave your
Yes.
opinion, let us know what you think about this. Sincerely, and share the video with your friend and join the conversation. You can find Mr. Abang on Instagram, and he has his Facebook too. And I think he also has a YouTube channel. This is what we do. We discuss this. And if you're interested in knowing more, just stay on with us, subscribe, and we'll keep you updated. We'll come back and discuss pressing issues about Nigeria and Africa, Black people in general. We have very interesting topics that will come next in the future. So if you want to join the conversation, just subscribe and remain updated. Stay tuned. All right. Salute.
Thank you very much, sir.